don't know if that's going to work, whether you're going to be able to see me or not. There we go. 4:40 in the morning. Just leaving Little Rock. Humid, just humid as could be. Loaded yesterday in Little Rock. Deadheaded out of Cassville, Missouri. Came down here and got the trailer washed out and went across the road to there's a place at Oakley called Buckeye. I loaded azomite, which Tyson puts in their chicken feed. My understanding, it helps the chicken. It helps them digest the food, I guess. But I'm going to Franklin, Kentucky, to Tyson feed mill up there. Been there several times. It's not hard to unload there, but I was short on time after after getting unloaded and deadheaded down there. 370-mile deadhead, something like that. Forget what it was. Paid 300. I forget what it paid. Paid 242 miles, so it must have been about 286 miles because they're always wrong on their mileage. I'm getting ready to get on Interstate 440 here in Little Rock, which is a really rough interstate, but it's short on my hours for the day. You know, I still got a lot of hours. I left home a few days ago. So when I got empty, I just thought, well, you know what, we'll just stay at Little Rock. Oakley's got a big terminal there, and they have showers and laundry facilities. You got 2 washers and dryers. And took a shower, and then did my laundry and ate supper. But it's a damn humid truck run all night. The air conditioners are still leaking on the floor. Now the condensation pours out of the spout underneath the hood. I've checked that, I've cleaned that out. So there's something else now. I don't want to take it to Kenworth, but I found an Allen wrench that fit all the screws under it, and I made sure they're all tight. They're still leaking out. So I've got 2 bath towels laid down there to soak up the water. Otherwise it's all over. And I've got rubber floor, so it's not going to ruin my carpet or anything. The whole floor is in the cab. It's all it's a rubber mat, so that helps. It's easier to clean that way too, but I've got to figure out some way to tear all that apart, because the Kenworth dealer here in Little Rock, their hourly wages for their labor is like $250 an hour. I'm not going to pay that. Even though the truck's just over a year old, and it's got 139,000, and I'm betting that was only, some of this stuff is only warranted for 1 year, 100,000 miles, and I'm sure that is what the case is. But and I'm sure they have a minimum rate, you know, to do that job. But they did work on it once when the truck was new. It was leaking last year, and it stopped for a little bit, and then just started up again. So my only thought is I got to take all that apart down there, take all them screws out. Good old Interstate 440 here, Little Rock. Well, I head up here to Interstate 40, and I'll head east through Memphis and Nashville, and then I'll shoot north on 65 out of Nashville, up there to Franklin, Kentucky, unload. I think the GPS says I'll be there about 10 o'clock. Well, it says 11 o'clock. Well, it's okay. But it is Friday, so I'll make sure that I get something lined up, you know, for the weekend. Now, my dispatcher's on vacation, so the new guy does things a little bit different. I don't know who watches all this, but so I won't say what my plans for the future are. Truck seems to be running pretty good. I don't seem to be having any issues. on the Pittsburgh Power fuel-borne catalyst, max mileage fuel-borne catalyst. And for those that don't know, it helps the burn cleaner, produces less soot, and with the emission system, it keeps it cleaner, less regens, and less problems. And then I also have what they call, got a truck sitting on the shoulder on the on-ramp here with the four-ways on. They have another product that helps burn it. This has been tested and tested, and it does work. It's proven this stuff works. And then they have Flashpoint, which is another product that I add with it. You only add like an ounce for every 25 gallons of fuel on it. Hardly ever put over 100 gallons on it. I try to have full tanks of fuel when I load, so I don't have to stop again. And I don't have to do that. Oh, we got to run 50 miles, put fuel on. I don't want to do that. And I don't hold a lot of fuel. The truck's only got dual 120 gallon tanks, or 110 gallon tanks, total of 220 gallons. But it only burned about 90-95% of that. So I can burn about 200. But you don't want to ever get it down that far. And it does get good fuel on it, although I haven't put pen to paper to figure it out. But I just don't understand these people. The speed of 70 miles an hour. There's no reason these trucks be doing 75, 80 miles an hour. That's why their driving record sucks. But I am east of North Little Rock. Just getting woke up. Glad I got all my laundry done. Had a whole bunch of towels. Had about 7 or 8 towels. We had to get in, and the guy that helped me load at Oakley's facility, I just washed the trailer out. You can't load any of these things because it's dry product. You want the trailer to be dry. We got the shop broom out and the wrapped bath towel around it, and he crawled into the front hopper. I got a rake, a big garden rake, I call it, big heavy metal rake, and I wrapped the bath towel around it, and I crawled into the back hopper and wiped it all down so we could load. So hopefully we got it dry enough that this stuff is not sticking. And I don't know, the walls were the biggest problem. The walls were still wet, you know, and all it did is rain all day yesterday, so there was no chance of it, you know, leaving it open and sitting out in the sun and let it dry out, because it'll dry out in 20-30 minutes if the sun's out. But all it did yesterday was rain. Pour and drive and rain all day yesterday. So let's hope that it was dry enough that we don't have that sticking, but I think I'm going to have to get back in there when I get empty and clean it out. Get a broom in there. And I saw something on Facebook, Brad something or other, something buried, Brad something. Anyway, he pulled a hopper. He had a system, he's got an extendable broom. And it's actually a height pole, but it's got a threaded end on it, and he screwed the head of the broom up there, extended out, and he stands in the trailer. And he can reach all the corners he needs to sweep it out. But he has a 2-inch strap, somehow wraps it around the back of the trailer and then hooks it onto there's a lip up there on that trailer, and then just descends down in that, holding on to that strap. And he gets down in there and stands on the plate and just sweeps it all down on there. So I think I have a 2-inch strap. I don't have an extendable ratchet though, but that might make things easier, and then you don't have to crawl in on the ground. But right now it is really humid out, and but that's about it. You know, I'll go up there and unload this. I don't know what they have planned. It's going to burn up about 6.5 hours of my day, which will leave me about 4.5 hours of driving. And we'll see what they have. Generally, I go to a place. It's on the Alabama-Tennessee state line, and I forget what they call it, Anderson, something or other. It might be Tennessee or something. There's a place we load some kind of dolomite or limestone, and it goes back up to Humboldt, Tennessee, to another Tyson plant for the chicken. But I hope I'm not doing that for the weekend and have to sit all weekend. But if I sit, then I can tear that air conditioner apart. But if I sit, I don't make any money. On a mileage contract loaded empty, there's just no money sitting. And I don't know how the guys do it to go home every weekend. Must have a lot more. Must have all their bills paid or something. They can do that. But so I'm not getting off the road. I've looked at a couple of different jobs. They don't pay enough for me to even make a decent living. And, you know, I ain't punched a clock since the 70s. Last time I had a job where I had a boss that had to work with every day, I got fired because I told him he was a dumbass. And I've been self-employed since '96. And I don't think it's a good idea. I know a lot of people out here that are in their 70s and 80s still trucking. So I think I can do it. The issue will be whether my back holds up. And I keep eating healthy. I'm still drinking my coffee in the morning, my bulletproof coffee or nutrient-dense keto coffee. And one morning I'll do a video. It shows you just exactly what I put into it. And then I have this stuff called Cardio Miracle I put in my bottled water. And I'll wait about an hour after I have my coffee and I'll have that. It gives me a little bit more energy. I eat meat in the afternoon. See if I can lose some weight, but I've been talking for 12 minutes. That's about it. Everything's about the same. We'll see what happens this weekend. Happy trail.